Well, Matt Barzal, career resume. It's been a fun one to follow, and I think it's only going to be getting better, too. So you got Calder Trophy winner. We saw him at winning the fastest skater at the All-Star game a number of years ago. And, you know, we got him on Players Only today, Hicks.
We do. And, yeah, we're talking about Matt Barzal coming into his 7th year. But this is going to be fun. I want to flash back about 7 years ago yesterday. Humble beginnings. So, Barzy, my favorite story is talking about your first game in the NHL. So we're in Washington. Barzy's getting ready for his first game. About 30 seconds into his first shift, hooking penalty.
All right.
Washington's got a good power play.
Slash on Ovi. Slash on Ovi.
Slash on Ovi.
At least you're trying to be going to get noticed, right?
And what that means is we got to block Ovi's shots while you sit in the penalty box. So we kill the penalty off. The puck comes around. And this was the new year of that rule that you got to get both feet on your ice before you step out of the penalty box and touch the puck. So he's 30 seconds into his career of ice time, steps out, touches the puck, 2 minutes. He's going back in the box. We're killing for 4 minutes straight.
Yeah, it was a good start.
And we get in
just how I drew it up, just how I dreamt about it.
Oh, humble beginnings. And then he comes in between the periods. He comes in. Hey boys, sorry about that, and we're laughing it off. And I think you took a penalty later on in that game, but it's incredible as time's gone on, Barzy. You're a veteran in the league now, and it's fun to think about those moments when you're starting out early on and have a rough start, but the way it's gone for you. And what's going through your head right here?
You can see my face too when I touch it. I'm just like, I'm like, no.
We were covering we were covering our faces on the bench right as soon as you touched that puck.
I know, and it's like you don't have the locker room yet, and you're new, and 30 seconds into your first game, like guys are blocking shots for you, taking Ovi slap shots to the shin pads. I'm just like, oh god, the boys are gonna love me.
Icebreaker though, right? It's an icebreaker.
Yeah, I know. I go out there, I'm like, oh my god, imagine I score on my first shift, and then 30 seconds later I'm sitting in the box, and I'm back in there, and it's just we turned it around though. We turned it around.
That was one of the more enjoyable stories I've heard of first NHL games in a while.
It was great. I tell it all the time. We can laugh about it now. I think we were laughing after the first period, so we got it out of the way quick.
Hey, Barzy, I want to ask you about a former teammate of yours. You made a comment, I think, in training camp about maybe missing his face around a little bit. My good buddy, Zach Parise, I gave him a call and asked him about you. He spoke very highly of you. He was a big fan of yours. I want to ask you this about him, though. Is he still on that ARP game? Is he still doing the ARP all the time? Like, is that still his style?
He's still on the ARP game. I do the ARP actually too. So he was kind of my workout buddy during the season and stuff. But he's a bit of he's psycho when it comes to it. I lay off it a little bit during the season, but he's full, like, put the pads on the forehead and do all that kind of stuff. Oh, he's the best though. He's the best. I mean, it's worked. He's played 18 years or whatever it was, 1,200 games. So it worked for sure.
I played with him in New Jersey, and I played with him at the end of my career in Minnesota. And he was always on it, and he'd get his crew, the ARP crew, they'd be doing it, and I'd always knock it. And then right in my last year, I tried it. I had a knee injury, and I was trying to get the muscles going before it.
You'd still be playing.
And I was like, where's this? I was too naive, I was making fun of him so much. But for the fans that don't know, that the ARP, how would you explain it? It's like electro.
It's just like, I did not think I was coming on here and talking about this, Ralph. No, it's just like a different way of training, a little bit of like muscle stim and just kind of a different stimulation for your muscles. So, I mean, I've enjoyed it. I had some hip issues when I first came into the league, and then Nick Leddy actually, who would blow me out in when we do skating stuff at the end of practice and whatnot. I'm like, how is this guy so explosive? And saw the way he trained, so I wanted a taste of it, and I've been locked in ever since.
That's awesome, man. And talking about training, let's talk about last season. So it was a great start for you, like productivity-wise. You were a point a game, and it's a good story. We were in Dallas, and I was covering the game, and I saw you after morning skate, Barzy. You went 19 games without a goal. It was 18 or 19 games. You hadn't scored yet. Everyone was talking about it, but you were playing great. And you came up to me that morning, and you said, Hicks, I got one tonight. And you went out, you scored 2 goals in that game. You played great. You played great all the way through. But what's it like when you haven't scored for that long, and that feeling? Because I never had that as a player, and I don't think anyone at home has that feeling to know things are going to go well for me tonight. What's going through your head when you said that to me?
No, I know it was like game after game, but then I was still getting, we were still scoring, and I was getting some assists and whatnot, and then just finally in Dallas, like you can see it on my face there. I was like, oh my God, thank God it went in. Then I scored, I think, like 3 shifts later, and kind of got the ball rolling. But you get to that 13, 14 game mark, and you don't even know if you're gonna get one all year. So, yeah, I mean, it was it was a good start, like you said, and then we got a little cold, but yeah, kind of an interesting start. I was seeing stats like I don't think it had happened in a while where a forward had I think 19 assists in 19 games with 0 goals. It was kind of funny. So hopefully that's not going to be the case this year. So hopefully I can get on the board here next game.
It was brought to my attention, like the part of you that I didn't know. I know you got a lot of things as far as what you like to dabble in, maybe off the ice. I knew you like the fashion, but I didn't know you play the guitar, man. Do we have that clip? Like, that was incredible. Like,
Pretty good. Too,
I love that stuff. And like, what does that do for you? Is that your release or what?
You know what? 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever it was, during COVID, I just picked it up. We'd be on the road a little bit, and I'd be hanging out with Jordan Eberle, and he'd bring his guitar on the road, and we'd be hanging out in his room, and I was just like, dude, show me something. So he kind of just started there, and then, a month later we got shut down, so I started to pick it up, then brought one to the bubble, and had all that time. So, and then we actually had our massage guy, Jimbo. He used to play in a band when he was younger, so he was showing me some stuff in the bubble, kind of just picked it up, really enjoyed it. Then last year when I got hurt, I just had a bunch of time off, and I really had nothing to do. Couldn't really move. So bought an electric guitar and just kind of fiddled around with it, and met a guy here in Long Island who, plays in a band and whatnot. And so I've been jamming with him a little bit since that. And he asked me, he's like, just, you want to come up on stage? And, me and my band are playing a gig, and yeah, went up there, and at first I was like, oh man, I don't know if and he was like, dude, trust me, you can do it. Were
you more scared of that than you were as a player? There's a different, like, because you're more comfortable as a player, like playing, right?
Oh my God. So no, all day I'm like, oh, I'm going to go up there. I'm going to be, be cool with it, and it's going to be easy. Get up there. My legs are shaking. It's different. It's different when you play. You can play hockey in front of 20,000 because you're comfortable skating and stick handling and whatnot. But then you get on stage with, in front of 100 people where you're not fully comfortable with doing something. And then I was praying literally while I was up there, like subconsciously thinking that I'm like, I hope these people can't see my leg shaking right now, because I could feel my quad just like it was. But then two, 3 songs, then finally like got a little comfortable, and yeah, it was fun.
So who's better, you or Ebbs, at playing the guitar now?
Ebbs is good. He's been playing for so long. Like, his rhythm, he knows a ton of songs. He's got a good library. So I've kind of been on the electric, and I'm trying to do more like soloing and finger picking and whatnot. But no, Ebbs is good. I mean, yeah, he's
better. He's better at it, and he'll let you know about it too.
No, he will. It hurts me to say it, but he is. Yeah, Ebbs is good.
I know that it pains you to say that.
Ebbs is a great campfire guitar guy, and brings out the vocals too. Not that his vocals are good, but he's got the confidence to do it.
And he knows the crowd favorites too, right? That's the key. When it around the campfire.
He's got a great library.
Good.
Yeah.
Barzy, so let's talk about, so when I was playing junior hockey, I played in Seattle, and then I got to the NHL, and you keep track of your junior team. So I was always hearing about this Barzal guy, and it turns out we ended up drafting you. We ended up being teammates. This past summer, you kept an eye on the T-Birds. What's it like? You went to the Memorial Cup with your dad. What was it like for you, and like how much do you check in on the Thunderbirds to see how they're doing?
I probably check in once a week, just take a look. The head coach there now was the assistant coach when I was there, so I got a relationship with him. And then Mem Cup last year was in Kamloops, a couple hours away from my house. I don't know when I'm going to get another chance to go watch that game. Yeah, look at me there. I'm just like, they panned into me when I was just zoned out.
It didn't go too well that night for the T-Birds too, right?
Oh my God. I was hoping they were going to win, because we were going to stay the night in Kamloops, go out with them and hang out. But it got ugly early. I think it was 5-0. So It's too bad.
Yeah, you weren't invited back.
They did better than we did. Yeah, no, they did better than we did in the Mem Cup. So they got a little farther than we did. I don't know if we scored more than 3 goals in the Mem Cup. It was ugly, Hicks.
Those were, well, we were just talking about, I played in the OHL, and I remember always looking at Seattle, Portland, like the crowds out there were insane. You were just telling me, where was the arena? The
Rose Garden in Portland.
Rose Garden, and how many?
Yeah, they on New Year's Eve, we'd play them, and there'd be like 18, 19,000 people. And I think that's a big reason why Seattle's got a team now. Like, there's a market for hockey out there, and obviously the Kraken are doing great, but junior hockey was loved out there for a long time, and there's passionate hockey fans, and I think that's why they have teams now in Seattle. The Thunderbirds back in the day used to clean up, too. They'd get a ton of people into the building.
So let me ask you this, Barzy, and then we got a little game we want to play with you. We were talking off air. I was actually today, I was looking, I have a Cleveland Browns starter jacket I was going to wear today because I'm all flying high from the big dub yesterday. So when we were talking about you, I'm like, oh, is Barzy a fan of the NFL? Is he like, are you one of the New York teams? Did you pick up the Seahawks when you were out there? Like, who's your NFL team?
I like the Seahawks. I like the Seahawks a little bit, but I'm more of like a cheer for a player kind of guy. So I love Patty Mahomes. I love Tom Brady when he was playing, but mostly just cheer for my fantasy guys.
Yeah.
Who lately I don't have much to cheer for lately.
How did they do this weekend?
Yeah. No. For everyone watching, I played Hicks this week in our Islander league, and he took it to me pretty good. So
it wasn't even close, right?
Oh man, when the Monday night games don't matter, that's a tough pill to swallow.
It was locked up at like 4 p.m. yesterday.
I know. And Butker on Thursday had 17 for me.
No, you started really hot. I was a little worried.
So this wasn't based off of you
Justin Fields went down. Devontae Smith did nothing for me.
Always excuses. There's always excuses.
Oh, yeah. Hicks says Tyreek Hill. I mean, the guy's auto 30 a night. So
I asked Barzy to come on, and he said, I'll come on if you sit Tyreek Hill. And I said, no. We don't need you that bad. I'm not sitting Tyreek Hill. I need this win.
I almost can't.
Hey, Barzy, we wanted you on. We would have forced him to sit him, man. Next time, give one of us a call. We'll make it happen. Appreciate you coming on, though. But, hey, here's the game we want to play with you. It's called What Were You Thinking? It's kind of like Caption This. We're going to show some pictures from your career and let us know what you were thinking. That's the first one here. You remember this one?
First goal, MSG. Obviously, first goal, you're just, fired up, and you almost don't even know how to react when you score that first one in the NHL. So,
that's a good one, though, against the rivals.
Yeah. On the King, too, who I grew up watching and was a big fan of.
Yeah.
So, no, it's a special moment. I don't know. I can't tell you really what I was thinking, but I know I was fired up.
It was pretty interesting because I always love knowing who the first goal is against. So when we got this, I was like, oh, who was playing in Hank? And I'm like, wow, that's a great first goal. And I'm like, Hicks, who was your first goal against?
A guy named Carey Price.
Carey Price.
Have you heard of him? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, my first goal was against Roberto Luongo. I mean, this might be the trifecta, man.
Hall of Fame first goals, yeah.
That's quite the list.
Yeah, that's a good squad.
Yeah, good squad here. What else we got?
When was that? Hicks.
I don't know, you and Hicks laying down the law, though.
Hicks was kind of just buddy and Wheeler there.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? We were back in Western Canada, Barzy and I. It's time for love, not hate. I was a peace creator. Barzy's clearly getting something around his neck, just trying to talk to everybody calmly.
We're trying to figure out who's on the other side. Maybe that guy's starting this whole thing, but Hicks looks like he's trying to diffuse it a little bit.
But Barzy, no, you're in front of your own goalie, good defensive posture, just standard bars.
Yeah, just I don't know what I'm doing there.
Right. What else? Look at this one.
Here, NHL All-Star game. Had no idea. Obviously, Gritty was behind me. Kind of ruined a good picture. Like, hair looks all right there. Hair looks good. No.
Some nice sheen on that jacket. I like the little shininess of it.
No, we spiced it up a little bit for All-Star weekend. Yeah, that was a good time. I mean, Gritty, what are you doing?
How much time goes into your choosing of like an All-Star game outfit?
All-Star game, I'd say as soon as you get announced, I think guys are probably starting to talk to their tailors or their suit guys and getting something made up. So I had a nice little piece there for All-Star game. My guy put a nice one together.
What else we got? We got another one? Another pick? First playoff game here. Look at this.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so I come to the middle of the ice, I go to my backhand, it hits the post, and it's just laying there, and I'm like, oh my god. And then all of a sudden, Bale's out of nowhere. Where is he? You can't even see him yet.
Oh, buries it.
And then I was hoping there was no goalie interference right away because I was kind of in there, and I think that was literally the loudest I've ever heard a building. I don't know if you guys have the audio on that, but
it was you can hear the buzz in the background, but Bars, like people don't understand how loud the Coliseum was, and UBS is phenomenal. The new rink that the Islanders are playing at, it's great. You can't replicate the feel and the noise. I agree with you, Bars. Like it can't get any louder than that. It was deafening. It almost like you couldn't hear anything because it was so loud. It drowned out your thoughts.
No, we had games against Tampa and against Boston and stuff, and we had some big wins. But that first, series at the Coliseum, like when Bale scored that goal, I can remember. And after the game too, we were all we couldn't even believe how loud it was. You couldn't even hear yourself think. So. Yeah, the Coliseum, it was special. It was a lot of fun playing there. Those small rinks when it gets like that, and you obviously know Islander fans, just first playoff game in a while there. You know how they were rowdy. You literally couldn't hear a thing. It was so loud.
And those are kind of few and far between, because I think Winnipeg's one of them that's left that's pretty loud, right? Like what are some of the other ones that still kind of hold that?
Winnipeg's loud. MSG gets loud when they score. I don't know if it's because of the fans or because the music's so loud, but that one's loud. Last night, or 2 nights ago at our home opener, when Nelly scored the first one, that place was buzzing. So I think every rink, Seattle was loud. I'd say it's mostly the American cities, to be quite honest with you.
All right, American cities.
Yeah, it's a different feel, right?
Yeah.
In Canada, there's a little bit more watching, and like places like Raleigh, like in North Carolina,
it's a party. I mean Raleigh in the playoffs too. Yeah, you
get the tailgate. It's a different.
Carolina for me in my career was the loudest building I ever played in.
Yeah,
that building gets
not pumped. A lot of people would guess that either.
No, that's for sure.
I actually said that last. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say last year in the playoffs, after one of the games, I think they scored in overtime. We were in the locker room, like that was the loudest. That was the loudest we've heard in a while.
Yeah, they get it.
This one here, I was just I was so happy to see that go in. Yeah, it's a good shot, good camera work there.
Between the legs, but you choked up on it. You choked up on it too.
That was a fun goal. I wish I got some air on it and went under the bar. I got a little lucky. I fanned on it, and then when it went in, you can even see my face. I was like. Almost just like processing it still.
Is there a certain point, Bars, that you decided you're going to do that, or is that all improv? Like it just comes to you in that moment? Because it's not like you can do that. You practice it a little bit, but was that more of a spur of the moment thing?
Well, I mean that angle that I was coming in there was pretty much like parallel to the goal line. I was coming in such a like sharp angle, and I couldn't really go back because I was going so fast, and I knew if I just took it to my backhand, the goalie was going to be there. So that's really all I had. So, yeah, I fanned on it. I got a little lucky, but we'll take it.
Well, Barzy, we appreciate you coming on Players Only, and we'd love to have you back again. You guys playing again in fantasy this year?
I'll check the schedule. We'll make sure.
We'll hold him down. I'll take his phone.
I'll the pot for you.
Sit, Tyreek. You come back on and let us know how that week goes.
We got it on camera. We got a deal if that's what we need.
All right, Robert Hicks. Thanks, boys.
See you, Bars. Good luck tomorrow.
See you guys.